Hello, my name is Abela David. Welcome to my Excel lecture video. In this lecture video, I want to demonstrate how we can use VLOOKUP and index functions to find and put through columns of data from across different worksheets. So let's get started. So I have this my data and I have three sheets. So this data is seated in my data source sheet and I have this my VLOOKUP also and my index. So what I want to do is to populate using index and VLOOKUP respectively to populate this my columns. Okay, so I'm going to come here and the VLOOKUP, the V stand for vertical, meaning our data are arranged vertically. In other words, we work in columns. We also have horizontal lookup. So I'm going to stick with lookup as you've said earlier on. So now here from the onset, by the time I start the VLOOKUP function, I discover that by the time I get to the second argument, which is table array, I'm going to refer back to this data source sheet and apply absolute cell references. The same thing with the column index number, I may have to come back here. So that is why to solve and handle the problem of absolute cell references, to make my work to be very neat and for efficiency purpose, I need to apply named range that will handle absolute references perfectly. Okay, so to apply name range, I'm going to come here and on my keyboard, Control Shift right arrow down arrow. So I've selected the range. So this is excluding my headings. Then I'm going to come here, name box, just click here and type any name of your choice. I'm going to type data underscore range 1. Okay, and also I'm going to put this my let me just talk about this my 1 2 3 rows. Of course, again in the column index number, I may have to probably come back to this data source sheet to make reference by probably counting the index number, but to handle that also so they can stay put on the VLOOKUP once and for all, I'm going to apply named range also. So for example, this one tells me that this is column index 1, the 2 is column index 2, 3, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to select all these rows, Control Shift right arrow. Then I'm going to come here, Formula tabs, and in the defined names, I'm going to click on Define Name, and I'm going to supply the name of the range I want to create, and I'm going to call this num. So with the scope is of course within this workbook. I'm going to click OK. So I have two named range. This is one of it, and this is the second one. So fantastic. So let's go ahead and use VLOOKUP function to populate the VLOOKUP sheet. So I'm going to come here and click in my order dates and start by typing equal VLOOKUP and use my tab key. So I have 4 arguments to supply. The number 1 is the lookup value, followed by table array, column index number, and the range lookup. However, this range lookup is optional. So for my lookup value, I'm going to click into cell A5, and because I want to move across, so I will need to apply what you call mixed cell references. In other words, I'm going to lock down my column and allow the rows to be. So I'm going to press on my keyboard F4 key, F4, 1, 2, 3. So you can see I have the $ in front of A. So that is satisfied, comma. So my table array is the named range I've created, data underscore range 1, and use my tab key. And the column index number is part of the number range we've created also. I'm just going to type number so you can see. Then because I want exact match, I'm going to choose false and close the parentheses. So I'm going to click enter. Wow, this is telling me 4, 2, 6, 8, 2. However, what you have here is 8/11/2016. Never mind, I'm coming back to that. So I'm going to come here using my fill undo button, you can see, and drag across. And of course, just double click and it automatically populates all the columns. Fantastic. So I'm just going to come here and just press Ctrl Shift down arrow. And because no formatting has been applied to it, we are in general, so I need to click this drop down and click on short date, so you can see it has been formatted to date, and we have exactly what we have on our data source. So we've been able to successfully use VLOOKUP function, you can see in the formula bar, to populate the VLOOKUP sheet. So next I'm going to come to my index sheet and populate it up. Again, I have my order number. I just place it there so that we can see it. However, I'm going to come to my data source now, and because order number was part of the first named range we created, that is data range, I need to ensure that order number is not part of this name range. So effectively, I'm going to create another named range excluding this order number. So I'm going to come to this cell B5, that is order date, and on my keyboard, Ctrl Shift right down arrow, you can see I've selected it excluding my order number, and I'm going to just create another one here, and I'm going to call this one data underscore range 2. Click OK to commit the changes. You can see, so I've done that, and I'm going to come to my index here, and before I begin to populate in my index, the function, the argument is the array, the row number, and column number. So for my row number, I've created just something like a lookup here. This will serve as my row, and this will serve as my column number. So let's get started on that. So I'm going to click here and start by typing equal index. So use my tab key, you can see array, row number, column number. So my array is going to be data range 2, the one we just created. So my row number is going to be this. I'm going to click here, and because I want to move across, I'm going to lock down my column. So I'm going to apply F4 key 1 2 3. So you can see the dollar sign is in front of the S. So I've locked down the column, so the row is not locked. So press command. So the column number is this. Again, we're going to apply mixed cell reference. Excuse me, it's mixed cell reference, not absolute. So we're going to lock down this time the rows, thereby allowing the columns to move. So I'm going to press on my keyboard F4 key twice, 1 2. So you can see now the dollar sign is in front of the 5. So this is correct, and I'm going to close the parentheses and click on enter. Again, we have this not formatted yet, so just use my fill to copy across, and of course copy down. So I'm going to come here, just make this to be formatted to date, so you can see. And again, there's a currency that is attached to here, so let me apply the currency. This one, just highlight all this and come to my drop down on the number group and click on currency. So you can see I've applied the currency. Again, come here and apply the currency again. So you can see the power of using function in Excel. I've been able to use 2 different functions to populate these sheets. I have exactly the same thing here. I've used VLOOKUP here, and I've used index here. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.